everybody, and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. This video starts with a few clips as to what you can expect to see in this video. Now, I hope you can hear me okay, because I've had a filling and my face is still very numb. I don't know how many hours it's going to take, and isn't it always shocking when you go to the dentist and you pay for such a hellish experience? I cannot think of anything else where you pay in order to get such horrendous treatment. Well, it's not horrendous, is it? They do their best, but it just feels absolutely awful and you pay for it. So a bit of a mix in this video. You'll see me doing lots of sorting out the kitchen, because I do feel that if the kitchen's tidy, the rest of the house is easier to keep tidy. And as you know, my last video I was a bit upset because it all started to feel like it was falling behind. I don't know what happened with my last video. It kind of just posted. I tried to set it up like I normally do, and as a result, not that many people have seen it because it went live and nobody was really aware. So not quite sure what happened with that. So do please look out for my previous video. If you've not already watched it, please do give it a look. And just to give you an update, those of you that have been following me for a while will know that January's ad revenue, I don't get much money from ad revenue, but what I do get, I'm donating January's. So January's is going to Star Throwers, and I got a report through in terms of how much. It looks like after tax it's going to be about £65, which is not loads, but small charities appreciate anything that they get, really, don't they? So that's good. And then I'm nearly the full way through the month of February. We haven't got long. Now, because I did my trip away, I've noticed that my views have dropped quite a lot. So, as I said, if you haven't watched the last video, please do give it a watch if you've got time. And hopefully we'll get about £65 for the Family Fund charity as well. So any money minus taxes, I'm going to be donating to Family Fund for the money that is raised for February. And that's a charity which one of my subscribers suggested. And they do amazing work with families with children who have got various different challenges. That might be that they're unwell, that might be they've got a physical disability, some sort of issue which impacts their lives in a considerable way and therefore impacts the families. Family Fund offer grants and to enable families to still do the same things that other families would. So they can apply to the charity and get support with various different activities. If you have a look online, it really is a good charity. If any of you have ever either had a family member yourself that's got difficulties, either mentally or physically, or any sort of challenges, you'll know how difficult it can be for the wider family and for the parents. So you can see I do manage to get quite a lot done in the kitchen. I start off with the washing up. Then I start doing a little bit of cleaning, because remember those wipes that I bought when I was trying to clean the house in the northeast? That kitchen is really, I should think, has not been cleaned for like years. So sometimes I think my kitchen's not as clean as what it could be, but the wipes for the other house, they were ultra heavy duty grime wipes, but they couldn't cut through the grease and the dirt. No way. That I needed to pour a bottle of fairy liquid on them, and a couple of you did make various suggestions, which I'll follow up when I go back there. I didn't have a chance to do that much more on it. But in my kitchen, I was really pleased because I just used the wipe to clean the front of my cream cupboards, and where there were splashes of dinner and a couple of marks of grease, it wiped straight off. So I was really pleased about that. So I'm recording this on Monday, and today we're all back to normal. So my husband was up very early. I didn't see him this morning. He was up on the 6 o'clock train to London. So hopefully he'll have a good day in London. It's a long day, I feel, for him when he goes into London. and then my daughter's gone to school. I didn't go and do my big shop in Tesco. I did a little shop. So my morning was mainly focused on the house. There's a couple of jobs I wanted to do in the garden, but it's like April showers here in Norfolk. It's been raining, sunny, very mild. At the moment, we've got a dark blue purple sky, so I think there's probably going to be a storm. So I had this, I was going to leave my tooth. I wasn't going to do anything about it, but my husband reminded me that he ended up losing one of his when he didn't do anything about it. I've got a tiny chip on a filling, and it was giving me absolute no problems, no pain at all. But I thought there's a chances that I could get food in the gap, so I should get it repaired, really. I'm interested, depending upon where you all live, as to how much a filling would cost. It cost me £75. And I just think, goodness me, this is £75. And obviously it's subsidised because this is the NHS. But it just makes you think, how does somebody who's doesn't earn much, or I suppose if people are on benefits, then they get it completely free, don't they? But if they're on fairly low income, I mean, that people must really think twice before they go to the dentist. Goodness me. And then this afternoon, when the sun cleared, when the sky cleared a little bit, I did manage to go and do some jobs outside. So for those of you that are interested, and my other channel, Emma's Life in Norfolk, I post various videos about my garden and about different things that I get up to. I did sometimes post them on this channel, but I found that people aren't that interested. So I thought, well, I'm going to keep it completely separate. I'm going to keep this channel completely focused on decluttering, tidying, sorting, cleaning, because that is my aim for my house. And if people if they're interested in other parts of my life, or they want to see what I've done in my garden, then they can follow that channel separately. That's what I thought. I did quite a lot of washing today as well. Although I hung out all the towels, but unfortunately I left them in the washing machine overnight, and I put the heating on very slightly to get these towels dried a bit. And when I came back from the dentist, the house smelled like that awful damp smell, and I thought, oh, they're the swimming towels, but wherever you store them, they're then going to smell, aren't they? So I decided to re-wash them, unfortunately. Now, for those of you that have been watching me for a while will know that things regularly get out of control with the lunchboxes. And while we were away for a few days in half term, we forgot to take any lunchboxes with us, which is essential for us because we cook our daughter's food. I say we, my husband cooks our daughter's food in the morning, and we take lunch out with us. So she might have rice and beans and vegetables and fish, and sometimes she'll have it in separate pots because she doesn't like sun-dried tomatoes all mixed in with the food, etc, etc. So we do use lunchboxes. So for those of you looking at the video and thinking, oh my goodness, why have they got so many lunchboxes? They are all well used. Now, they're all well used, but then we've now bought a pack, another 4 I think we bought in this pack. We could have bought 2, but to buy 2 lunchboxes was more expensive than to buy 4. So I kind of went through and sorted all those out again. I've ended up with some random lids. So I then later realised that the random lids are because I'm using the lunchboxes for all the Lego, aren't I? I suddenly remembered. So I just think with lunchboxes, I just need to keep regularly on top of that. I just find that what happens is when the drying rack's cleared, sometimes my husband will just take everything off and put things on the side, and I'm not complaining because I appreciate him washing up and drying up, so that's not a problem. I just need to keep on top of that little corner. So you can see I was using these wipes, which were very, very good. They weren't cheap. They were £10 for a massive pack. I think there's 50 wipes in this pack, and they are big and they're really heavy duty, but obviously that is expensive. But I bought them for a particular purpose. But I regularly use my own cleaning products for other houses, so I decided that wouldn't be, then there's nothing wrong with using the ones that I bought for the house and using them for my home, the ones that are left over, because they're not going to last that long, are they? Wipes tend to get dried out. So in terms of my plans for the week, so as I said, my husband's back to work today, my daughter's back to school, and my daughter will have drama or choir, usually after school, a couple of days this week. Tomorrow I've got a couple of meetings first thing in the morning, and then I'm back at home for the rest of the day, which is good. And then Wednesday I've got a workshop in the morning, and then a couple of meetings, and then I'm working all day Thursday and all day Friday. I've got guides Wednesday evening, so I need to message the other leader just to see what we're doing with that. And I'm starting now to plan for our event later on in the year, because I was successful with that grant for the Girl Guides, which I was really, really pleased about. So I've got that to plan. And I'm also doing my Fiat 500 convoy, which is starting to build momentum. So I'm doing that for Natasha's Allergy Research Foundation. So I'm charging each car £5, and we're going to travel from Norwich, and we're going to go all the way to Great Yarmouth. So I'm hoping that I'll have a good turnout for that. Fingers crossed. So the more cars we get, the more money I'll raise. I've now got enough raffle prizes for my raffle that I'm organising. That's also for Natasha's Allergy Research Foundation. So I'm getting to a point where I've organised quite a lot of things, and so it makes perfect sense to then be able to spend the time on planning our camping trip for guides. We thought about doing that in the summer. There's not many dates that me and the other leader are both available for. We really need 4 leaders for that, because I do a lot, the other leader does a lot. One of the other ladies who will definitely come, she does not do anything without being prompted. So, for example, all of you, I know all you well enough to know that if you were watching a girl cooking something over fire, and her ponytail had come out and her hair was nearly touching the fire, all of you would step in and say something. Or say, for instance, she was cutting up a knife, and she'd been told, cutting up an onion with a knife, and she'd been told how to cut it. And suddenly you looked and she was cutting it in such a way that was dangerous, like into her palm. You'd step in and say something, wouldn't you? Well, this particular leader doesn't. And she also doesn't do anything, really, without being asked. So, like on last year's camp, we said, oh, would you be able to organise a game with the girls while we start setting up the campfire? And suddenly I looked, and all of the girls were in their tents. Now, I think that's absolutely fine for girls to just relax and have a little chat and, you know, talk about their books, whatever they're reading, or craft, because they're not allowed to take their phones, so they're not in their tents on their mobile phones. But I remember I walked past one tent, and just after I'd asked this other leader if she could organise a game, and I thought, what's this conversation? And I paused for a bit, and it was not the sort of conversation that I'd have been best pleased if my daughter had come home and said to me, oh, well, this girl said this, this and this. So I had to stop the conversation. And then I said to the other leader, well, can you organise a game? She said, oh, no, it's good for them to chill. It's good for them to be relaxed in their tents. I said, I think it is good for them to relax. I said, but they've been in there now for a bit. Please, can you organise a couple of games? But the truth of it is because she wants to chill. It's because she wants to relax. So like in the evenings, we have an agreement at camp where you don't go to sleep before the girls are asleep. The first time I went on camp with her, I said to the main leader, who I'm good friends with, "Oh, where's the other leader gone?" And she said, "Oh, she's gone off to bed." And she'd literally just taken herself off, put earplugs in her ears, and off she'd taken herself to bed. Now, we can run the camp with just 2 leaders, plus like an assistant. But that was 2 years ago. Given that I realised, oh my goodness, yes, she's an adult, but she does nothing. And it's quite hard work. It's like looking after another child in many ways. I then asked a brownie leader if she'd come along, and do you know, she was absolutely excellent, and she seemed to encourage the other leader to do more. So I said to them, because that was a camp that I'd organised, I said to them, please could they be in charge of doing some campfire songs, and the 2 of them did a fantastic job, really, really good. So yeah, so I need to get on and start planning that and thinking about that. Now I'm going to go through some of your comments now. So thank you so much to those of you that have taken the time to add comments to my channel. You know how much I love reading them. Very, very much appreciate you adding comments. And also I thought that was very kind. I posted a picture where I'd tried on some dresses, and people put some lovely comments on there. Thank you for being so kind. That was at the weekends. And as I said in my last video, my daughter wanted to come along and help with the clothes and choosing dresses, and she did a super job. I've chosen 3 dresses. A blue, very dark blue, which my daughter said, oh, it looks a little bit like you'd wear that for a funeral. And I was like, But it's just, it feels and looks, I think, quite elegant. And I've got some gold shoes from the shop, but they're the gold shoes that I told you about yesterday in my voiceover, that I need to, they're going to order some new ones in because they were damaged. And then I went on Amazon to get a gold bag, because the gold bag which went with the shoes was like more than £100. And I thought, I'm not really going to use a gold bag that much. So I bought a clutch bag from online, and it's arrived, and I'm really pleased. I think it looks really nice. And then I did buy the pink dress, and I did buy the little cardigan, or bolero, do we say? And I bought a green dress as well. And all of them I can wear the gold shoes with. The gold shoes look nice with all of them. So I thought, well, I'll have the gold shoes and the gold bag. They can work with the 3 dresses. I'm not quite sure what to wear in my hair. I did try on a fascinator. But again, I thought, really, I want to buy one and that be suitable for all the dresses. I don't want to buy 3 fascinators. The lady did suggest, she said before COVID there were quite a few places that hired fascinators, but she said I don't know whether they may be closed down in COVID or what happens. The thing is, people often say about procrastinating. I always find that word quite difficult to say, but I've thought so many times, I can't remember whether I bought the pink or the green little bolero. And I keep thinking, I need to look, because I'm going to be wearing it this week. But I keep putting it off, because everything is all wrapped up in tissue, all in the bag, all neat. And if I start taking them out, then I'll have to hang them all up. Then I'll have to find a place for them in my wardrobe, which I don't really want to do. Anyway, I've digressed. So I was going to go through some of your comments. So first comment is from Barbara Palmore. And Barbara says, your kitchen looks great. Decluttering and cleaning are a never-ending job. You really are tackling it at a great pace. Thank you for your positivity, Barbara. It's very much appreciated. LV Frankie says, hi Emma. I've had the most hectic weeks at work and I'm catching up now on your videos. I had a tough day and having my parcel arrive from you brought me so much joy. Thank you for your effort and kindness. Oh, I hope you have a calmer week this week. I'm sorry that you didn't have a very nice day, and I'm really pleased that my parcel arrived on the day that was tough and not on another day. So, and I'm glad that you were pleased about it. Thank you for letting me know that it arrived. Bluebird says, "Oh, how nice to get a thank you note and be recognised for the help you gave someone and how you believed in them. You really made a big difference in their life. I see the book Ballet Shoes at the end. I just watched the movie You've Got Mail a few days ago and that book is mentioned." Oh, really? Enjoy your week. You've Got Mail. I completely forgot about that film. Oh my goodness, that film must have been out about 24 years ago. I should watch that film again. There's a couple of films that I really want to watch with my daughter. I want to watch Sliding Doors with her and I want to watch Notting Hill with her, but neither of them are age appropriate yet. Have to be a few more years, I think. Yeah, that email that I told you all about, that thank you note, he sent it, the senior manager sent it to the two managers that I report to. I don't really do much work now with fire, so there's someone who's connected to fire and then my main manager. And he said to me, "Can I have the names of your two managers?" So I gave them their names. Now, one of them came back and said, "This is good, Emma." It wasn't, yeah, he I think he struggles to write, but he just came back with "This is good, Emma," or something like that. My main line manager, I couldn't believe it. She came back and said, "This is fantastic, amazing feedback. I'm so proud of you. You're a star." And then she copied in her manager and the service head, the head of the service. So I was like, wow, I was really pleased about that. It's nice when you work hard and people acknowledge it, isn't it? Louise Tilbrook says, and I love this, "Slow and steady wins the race." I love your shorts videos. I've tried to like all of them. Oh, thanks, Louise. I like Louise saying that because I thought, yeah, when you feel like you do 4 steps forward and 2 back, well, you don't focus on the 2 back, do you? The fact of it is you've moved 2 steps forward. That's what you just got to keep going. Melissa Cross says, "Hi Emma, another wonderful video. In regards to open plan living, removing your wall between the kitchen and the dining room, our current 1960s house has a separate kitchen and lounge, but our new home is open plan, which will take a bit of getting used to, I think. Our build is nearing the end and we hope to have a handover in the next few weeks." Melissa, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. You must be getting really excited. "I've started packing up and have made 3 tips to the local donation centre so far. Loving the decluttering and clearing of spaces. Well done you. If you've made 3 trips, all those things you've got rid of, you don't have to find a place for in your new home and you can start again. Only having the things that you absolutely want, need and love." Oh, cool. That's so good. "I also had a thought about your tiny office. Why not consider moving your office to the spare room and make the current office into a wardrobe? Keep up the great work. Cheers from Mel in Tasmania." Now, Mel, you are very wise. This is a very good idea. And actually, this is something that me and my husband talked about when we first had the loft converted. The problem is that in my tiny office, which I mean is so tiny, it's tinier than tiny. I couldn't, Brooke said about, "Oh, you'll be able to get in there and show us what you're doing." Well, I can't get a camera in there. It's tinier than tiny. I've got a skylight. I've got a light above my head when I sit there. And that light then goes out onto the landing, the top of the second set of stairs, and it creates natural light into the stairs. The problem is, if I fill that room with clothes, I'm not going to have any natural light, am I? So it is a bit of a problem. I'm not quite sure whether I could do that. That is a good idea. I said to my husband yesterday when I was talking about getting ready for one of these events that we've got, and I said, I've got nowhere to get dressed. Nowhere to get dressed because there's not the space in our bedroom, particularly as my side of the bed is by the ceiling. And then our old bedroom is just absolutely chock-a-block with things for a car boot sale and a whole load of stuff that I need to give away to charity. Jane Mercer says, watching you with your daughter's books reminds me of when my adult daughter gives things to charity. I always go through the boxes and take out and take half of the stuff out and keep it. They are much better than we are at decluttering. That's good though, Jane, isn't it? It's not good that you're keeping it all, but it is good that your child, your daughter, your adult daughter gets rid of things. That is good. My sister has got rid of loads of clothes and loads of makeup, and she's given me and my mum like dibs to look at it first, and we end up keeping things. Lisa says you are making amazing progress in your room. I laughed about the cords your husband's keep in bags. I hope he makes the world record. I think he already has, Lisa. I think if we looked up his name in the most recent edition of the Guinness Book of World Records, his name would already be in there. Right, next comment was from Stacey, and Stacey's from Virginia, and she says, good video, I love watching, very motivational and inspiring. You are doing absolutely amazing. Thank you for taking time out to share. Thank you very much, Stacey. And 5 people have liked Stacey's post. Karen says, hi Emma, I've missed commenting on a couple of videos, even though I've been watching. I've had a horrible cold since February the 6th. I'm finally feeling human again. I somehow managed to crack one of my teeth during my cold. Oh no. And now I'm feeling better. I have an appointment to get that repaired tomorrow. Oh, how'd you get on? So that was 6 days ago. So Karen's had that done 5 days ago. I hope it doesn't hurt. I'm very impressed with your daughter's books declutter. You are making great progress on Lego sorting too. Now, hopefully, you're all now watching and seeing how much Lego there is to be sorted. So I said to my daughter and my husband, we're making one of these tiny, tiny, weeny Lego. That's not actually called Lego, it's something else. It's like cute little cat with a little donut or something. She got as one of her Christmas presents from her auntie. So she started doing that, and that was quite tricky. So Daddy was helping, and I was doing some gardening. And then I came in from the garden, washed my hands, and said, let's have a Lego making party. So in the end, we were all downstairs building. Although what I decided to do was, because there's so much to sort through, I just grabbed an instruction leaflet, grabbed the box, and just went through trying to pick the big pieces that belonged in the box. Now, someone fairly recently said to me, I think you're going to have to give up. I think you're going to have to give up on that. That's too big a task given everything else that you've got going on. Now, partly I do agree with you, but also I just don't like that. I don't like the thought of that. I can't give up on things. That's part of the problem that I have with other things. I don't like saying no, but I certainly do not like giving up. So I won't be giving up anytime soon. I'll keep on until we've got all the Lego in all the right boxes. Next comment is from Coffee Loving Queen. And Coffee Loving Queen says, the way you described how you started by decluttering and went from the magazine article to looking for something to putting pictures in frames, it's what Clutterbug would call scroll syndrome. Hopping from one nut to the next. I think many of us can relate to this. What helps is saying to yourself, I'm sorting out magazines now, which means you will focus only on that specific task. This will keep you from getting sidetracked. Works with any task, just say it out loud. Please try it. I hope it helps. Thank you very much, with a little French flag. Thank you for that comment. The interesting thing is, I know that I do this in the garden as well. So, like, I'll start, on my other channel, you'll see where I was doing some work on my pots and clearing my pots. And then I couldn't find the clippers to cut the hedge. So I went and did another job, which is fine. But today, I found the clippers. They were actually where I often leave them, which was quite handy. And my husband hadn't spotted them, which is why he hadn't put them away. So I got the clippers, started cutting all of the hedge, and probably about 3/4 of the way through, I'd got fed up with that task, and I decided that I wanted to go and do some weeding in the front garden. Then I thought, no, I am cutting the hedge. And even though it did start to drizzle a little bit, I finished the hedge, cut all the hedge. So weeding will be, I like the variety, I suppose. I think that's why I like to have several different jobs rather than just one full-time job. I like the variety and the flexibility. I like to do different things. I don't want to spend too long doing one thing. Nan Holmes says, hi Emma from North Carolina. We're waiting on a snowstorm for my birthday tomorrow. So it was Nan Holmes' birthday 5 days ago. So did you have a lovely birthday? I hope you did. How bad was the snow? Was it a pretty snowstorm or was it too much? I hope it wasn't too thick and didn't stop you from doing any things that you wanted to do. Mrs. Kojak says, amazing to let go of all those books. Fantastic job. Be blessed. And you as well. Karen Howard says, sometimes people don't want to take their shoes off due to smelly feet or holes in their socks. I have a basket in my coat closet with crocheted, washable slippers for guests to wear. How lovely does that sound? Good on you with hotel slippers. We believe in you, which Karen wrote in capitals. You are doing amazing work. Joke. I thought you were saying that your husband was collecting plastic bags of leaves rather than leads. Cables. Thanks for sharing your journey. I mean, I would be a bit worried if he was collecting plastic bags of leaves. Although I am kind of worried that he's collecting plastic bags of leads. He's obviously not really collecting them. He's just, is he hoarding them? No, I'm not sure he's hoarding them. It's because they will be useful, apparently, in the future. Even though we've got at least 2 bags of leads out in the shed, which have been placed there and sat there and never seen the light of day since. Thank you for your comment, Karen. And thank you for all your comments. I do appreciate them. Naomi says, I live in Montana. Come, you will love it. Also, if you want some pointers on places to go, let me know. Thank you, Naomi Wicks. Lizzie, who's William Hawthorne, says, are the properties you're renovating yours, or are you overseeing them as a job? So this one, I'm renovating this house. I'd like to say it's mine, but of course it actually belongs to the bank, as all houses do to start with. Well, unless you can afford to buy a house cash. Angela says, hello from Staffordshire, England. Staffordshire. Have I been to Staffordshire before? I need to look it up on a map as to what big towns or cities are in Staffordshire. I enjoy your channel and please, you're passing the profits to charity. Really grateful for your positive content. Angela, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your lovely comment and thank you for commenting on a number of my older videos. That's very, very kind of you, because all those views will help to that charity. So thank you very much. Next comment was from Deborah Motino. Very helpful, Deborah. Thank you very much. Deborah has posted to say this is Emma's other channel, Emma's Life in Norfolk. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Cynthia Miller says, I love Henry. I think he will do a great job for you. Remember to ask your hubby and daughter to help you get on top of the house again. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to do it all yourself. Appreciate the reminder. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate the reminder. I'm trying to get my daughter in the habit of clearing up after herself. So in the morning she has breakfast, she takes the dish through, she takes the plate through, she puts her pyjamas under her pillow in bed. All those little jobs which really help everybody actually. She's helping her future self and it's also helping me. Thank you for that reminder. Zoe says, hi Emma, keep up the great work. However, as much as you're desperate to get outdoors to the garden, me too, maybe just concentrate on indoors for a few more days until you feel you're conquering indoors. No criticism at all. You've moved mountains. Just pace yourself room by room. You are right, Zoe. You are right, absolutely. And I am itching to get outside. The difference is often I don't record myself outside, so I am doing jobs outside. I just don't record them and don't upload them. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do some videos for my other channel, but don't think that I'm going to suddenly start spending my life outside and I'm going to forget about indoors. I'll just have to juggle both. Katharina Montag says, 1934, says, "Oh, Emma, don't be so hard on yourself. Even the most organised households get messed up in no time." Do they? Do they really? But of course, most people won't show. When you are on your routine, you stay mostly on top of it. But one trip is more than enough to throw you off rails. You tackle it, get back to your routine, done. I think it's because I had literally 2 bags of clothes to wash. All of these clothes just needed to come straight home, whereas if I'd have been at home I would have probably done a load of washing, wouldn't I? So there was loads of clothes that needed to be washed. All the things that we'd worn up there to travel in, things we'd come back in to travel in, the things that we wore each day because they'd all got dusty and dirty. Katharina says, "That's just life happening, but you have changed. You see the mess you don't like and you deal with it to get back to point zero. And that's the real achievement here. Be proud, you are doing amazing." Oh, what a lovely comments. I'd love to believe that, but I open up I open up the door to my old bedroom, the spare bedroom, and I'm not quite convinced. I open the door to the playroom, I'm not convinced. My daughter's bedroom is starting to slip, and my bedroom upstairs still needs a lot of work. But I do recognise that I'm heading in the right direction. It's that whole view, isn't it? 4 steps forward and 2 back. Yes, but you still moved 2 steps forward. Thank you very much for your comments. So I'm nearly at the end of my video, and these are the promised little clips of Great Yarmouth that I said that I was going to post at the end of the last video and completely forgot. So Great Yarmouth is a seaside destination, popular for the people across the United Kingdom to visit, as well as parts of Europe. People come over and spend some time in Yarmouth. But out of season, usually in February, is completely quiet and closed. But actually there was lots going on, lots of places open. I think it's because our new fantastic swimming pool is bringing more people to the area during half term. So thank you very, very much for following my video. Thank you for your support and your kindness, and how you motivate me so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.